Okay.
Yeah, we don't.
You know how to
We
edit the clips, right?
yeah, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah. I haven't. I've just been like automatically like putting everything in,
Okay, well,
including
this one we
everything.
definitely wanna.
Yeah, yeah. We can for sure. Yes, there'll be a good amount of before and after. Wants to enter picture in picture, allow and a revisit. Always allow. Yeah, for sure, man. Get it. Sweet, sweet, sweet. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So what's
Let's
up,
do
bro?
it.
Welcome to welcome to Bros and Books, episode 1/episode 4, maybe, where we're redoing our episode on our talk on the book Red Rising by Pierce Brown.
Yeah, Red
Yeah,
Rising, Pierce
there it is.
Brown, book 1. I am very excited.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's a man, it's an awesome series. Thoroughly have enjoyed it from the beginning. We can go into so I heard about it from Chris Williamson and had read it and was like, "Oh, this is awesome." Like I'm trying to get back into reading and reading just for the habit of reading overall, but reading for pleasure. I used to be an avid reader and I'd read everything, man, just like nonstop had a book in my hand, and so, trying to get back into it, and I was like, "You know what? Let me find a book that I can just enjoy and, get into and, like, not put down, when where I'm not necessarily gonna learn anything, although
Mhm.
you know that there's a good amount of themes and stuff that are, um, themes, topics here that we're gonna get into,
Oh, yeah.
that you can absolutely learn from, right? Take some lessons from. So, yeah, that's how I picked it up. It's highly recommended by Chris. He talks about it a lot. And so, and then you were looking for a book, right,
Yeah,
Matt?
so, on my side, I kind of at the same time was like, "All right, I wanna get back into reading." I used to be an avid reader as well, and, I'm really grateful to you because you are the reason why I'm into reading and I've read so much. So I'm at the airport and I'm like, "Hey, what
That's
should I get to
right.
eat?"
Forgot about that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, "Hey, what should
Yeah.
I get to eat?" And then I just told Chris, I'm like, "Hey, I'm reading Ender's Game right now." And he's like, "Oh, you're reading Ender's Game? You should check out Red Rising." And yeah, I thought that it would be a good choice for the next book to get into, and then I was hooked since I started reading it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great read. It's so much fun. The world building in it is so great. Pierce Brown does an amazing job, and we were joking about it in one of the previous ones, and I'm like, man, dude's like 35, however old he is, he's super young, and multiple time bestseller, just author.
He's killing it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kudos to him. Let me silence my phone so we don't hear anything in the background here.
But yeah, it'd be a good idea.
Yeah. So yeah, and then so we both read it, both enjoyed it, and then we're like, you know what, it'd be awesome to just like get together and like do a little podcast and talk about books, talk about the parts that we enjoyed. And so, yeah, we're kind of thought, you know what, let's, instead of going over the entire plot line of the book and what happens and kind of just retelling it, let's just go over like quotes and pick up like pick parts and kind of begin to go through it that way. So yeah, we're going to cover Red Rising, quotes that we liked from it. Um,
Absolutely.
just go from there. So, man, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. Okay. Hold the
Actually, I think
phone. Hold the phone.
let's go in chronological order because I think my quote is probably likely before yours. Give me your first one, and I think mine is
Well,
going to be
so I'm
before it.
gonna go with just like the very literally here.
Oh, okay, yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
so I don't know. I have a strong feeling that that was first.
Well, go with yours, and I think I still got you beat though.
Oh, ooh, okay, okay. All right. So again, book recommendation from the bro. I'm like, okay, we kind of like the same kind of books. We're all right. I'll for sure bite. I will bite. And then I open the cover, and the first quote is Ender Katniss, and now Darrow. Pierce Brown's empire-crushing debut is a sprawling vision. And this is me coming right after, literally, number one, reading Ender's Game, and then number two, reading The Hunger Games. So after that, I was like, okay, buckle in. I'm all in, all the way in.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's like, hey, you enjoy those, right? And it's like, all right, you read that description, like, all right, let's do this. This sounds great. Man, mine is so I've got the Kindle version and so it's the dedication.
Oh, okay.
Um it's the dedication and in it so there's popular highlights. I want to look at my highlights. He says, to my father who taught me how to walk. Yeah, to father who taught me to walk. I just like love that. Like I don't know.
I
I
love it
think
too.
that's great. That was just like super simple, but like super deep
Yeah,
at the
one
same time.
sentence.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
sentence, but really packs a punch.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Shout
yeah,
outs to all the dads out there that are
there you go.
um teaching their kids to walk.
Yeah, absolutely. Walk through life, right? So, all right. Next one. Go on. Go to your next one. What's the next
Okay.
one in your
So
chronological
yeah,
order here?
the it's the kind of like the before chapter 1 but like the intro page,
Hmm.
and it's like kind of like the preview page. Oh, sorry. Okay, the next before I get into that,
Yeah.
one sec. Okay, so then the next thing I read is I would have lived in peace, but my enemies brought me war. That is the next two sentences, and then from there I'm just like, okay, like if like this is now the third sign that like, okay, I'm really gonna like this series. So again, that yeah, that after that I was hooked. I've been hooked
Yeah.
3 times. I've been hooked like 3 different times before chapter 1 has even started.
Yeah. No, I love that. On that same page, I've got one too. Give context. So we'll give context
Yeah,
as
we
it
gotta
goes
give
as it
context.
goes
Yeah.
across, right?
Yep.
So obviously something happens to Darrow, right? Well, no, not something. I mean, yeah. So it's a crazy world. This is our world in the future, right? And the humans have kind of evolved or become split up. They've been split up into different colors, different class systems. And so you've got the golds at the top, essentially, who are like the rulers, and then you've got the reds at the bottom, who are like laborers. And we've spread across the entire solar system. Right, so we've got reds on Mars. So Darrow, the protagonist, main character of the story, lives on Mars, but you got people on Earth's moon, Saturn, Jupiter, everywhere. All right. So we've kind of colonized our
Mhm.
solar system. And so he's living his life on Mars. They're essentially slaves. He thinks that they are mining helium-3 so that they can go ahead and terraform Mars, right?
Yep.
We need this in order to terraform. So
Right.
we're doing this for the future, right? So people
Mhm.
can come to the surface. He's never seen the surface of Mars. And then so yeah, this little prologue where you read your portion, Matt, I would have lived in peace, but my enemies brought me war. The ruling class, some golds, end up murdering his wife. And so this is like, the start of everything. He had
Yeah.
no control over this action. I really like this. So on that same page, there's a quote. It says, I was forged in the bowels of this hard world, sharpened by hate, strengthened by love. And yeah, I just love that. Like, so EO was his everything. They were like a very young couple. And she was like a dreamer, right? She had this vision for better for all of the Reds in their community. Um, and so, yeah, like this is obviously before little prologue before, and he's talking about what's gonna happen, and then you get into the main piece of the story. But yeah, just like sharpened by hate, right? This is what caused me to do this, and then strengthened by love. And I just like love that, right? Because it's like yeah, so you can use hate as motivation, right? But you can only go so far. with that, right? The real motivation, the real reason to do anything, the real any real strength that you have, right, comes from a place of love. So I thought that was super cool. And his love for her, his love for his people.
Yep.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had
100%.
that. I had that quote too. I had
Oh,
that
did you
quote too.
really?
Yeah,
There you go. Look at
yeah.
us.
A
Look at
bit
us.
later down, but yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely agree.
Hmm.
I like that phrasing. I like the phrasing a lot. It's
Hmm.
yeah, the strength. Because when I think of strength, I think of a fire, kind of like yeah, like a flame. And flame,
Burns out.
it burns out,
Hmm.
but it also is not tangible. Like it's not solid. It's moving and alive and it can spread. So like the form of it is a bit it's a bit, it's not a solid. It's more akin to a gas.
The form of hate. Is that what you're saying? What you're
Love,
talking
love,
to?
love, love.
Oh, a form of love. Okay, sorry.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And then but hatred sharpened. So that gives me the idea of like a sword. So I just really like that contrast of strengthened by love and then sharpened by hate.
Yeah, absolutely. I do too.
Okay, so I'll go into again, Maya and I did a bit ones before, but the quotes that I chose and the reason why I chose them were, for one, the themes of slavery and oppression, and then also I really like seeing Darrow's transformation,
Hmm.
like how his mindset changes about the world and the things he needs to do.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead with this first one. The context here is that he's talking about how he's talking about um the Caesar. I'm blanking very hard here. Octavia, not Octavia. The Mars governor,
But you're talking about Augustus,
arch
right?
governor,
Yeah.
Augustus,
Yeah.
Augustus. So this is
Augustus
him.
something or other.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Darrow's talking about Augustus. He's saying, "I am no gold. I am a red. He thinks men like me weak. He thinks me dumb, feeble, subhuman. I was not raised in palaces. I did not ride horses through meadows and eat meals of hummingbird tongues. I was forged in the bowels of this hard world, sharpened by hate, strengthened by love. He is wrong. None of them will survive." So,
Mm.
again, yeah, that was actually my first quote. But yeah, so
Yeah,
a
yeah,
bit,
the whole thing.
yeah, a bit
Yeah.
expanded,
Yeah,
a
yeah,
bit
yeah.
expanded.
Yeah, I love that. I think it applies it's so true, right? If you are a gold, right, and you see this happen in the story later on, right? It's like if you're gold, fed with a silver spoon your entire life, right? And it just coddled, been privileged, been able to kind of do whatever you want your entire life. Essentially, you've been spoiled your entire life, right? Now you feel those people feel entitled, right? Or they encounter some hardship and it's the first time that it's happened, and so like they fold really quickly, really easily. Yeah, I love that, man. Yeah, not raised in palaces. Yeah, do
Hmm.
not ride horses through meadows. Yeah, forged in the bowels of this hard world. I think that's what makes sense. Like a lot of the times a common denominator of, like, real men or masculinity, right? Like,
Hmm.
I I know that, that's different for everyone, and that looks different, but there's a certain aspect of when you talk about masculinity that's just, like, strong, like, strength is a trait of it,
Hmm.
and I think strength comes from, yeah, hardship, from overcoming, from needing to kind of endure through and surpass those hardships. And so yeah, I like that a lot. So what do you think? What about that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think absolutely.
Hmm.
I think the more hardship someone goes through, the stronger they become. So it is. it sets the tone for the
Yeah,
rest of the book.
absolutely.
Um, should I go on to the next?
Go on to the next one, man. Yeah. Let's
All
keep
right.
going.
So
Take
this
us
is
away, my
yeah
friend.
this is talking about how he's the Helldiver, and so this is a short quote, but one that I enjoyed. It's Darrow's saying, "I'm the earner in this crew. I am the Helldiver. It takes a certain kind, and I'm the strongest anyone can remember." So talking about Darrow's confidence, and yeah, I mean, the
Can you tell
Helldiver
us, Matt?
spot.
Yeah. Tell us about like what's a Helldiver? Who are they?
Absolutely. So the Helldiver is the so they're like Chris said, we're mining helium-3 with the idea of terraforming Mars. So the Helldiver is kind of like the quarterback in a bit of a like reverse situation. Shout outs to the Chiefs. And
That's to the Chiefs, he says. Chiefs just lost and got
oh,
whooped by the Eagles. My
okay.
man. All right. There's that.
um so so he's the
Who's the Chiefs quarterback, Matt? You got this. Oh shit. There you go.
Mahomes.
Let's go.
um I don't know anything about football, which is why that's funny. Um
It is, yeah. I wasn't sure if I was kind of low key surprised that you knew,
so
but
that
also proud that you knew.
thank you.
Yeah.
The Helldiver, so they're mining down into the earth, down into the subsurface of Mars, and the Helldiver is the spearhead. So kind of like geese when they're flying, you have the one in the front. That one is taking the most drag and wind resistance. Um, so he's the quarterback of this hell diving because he's leading the charge, spearheading the charge, and then behind the helldiver, the rest of the people are mining the helium-3, but it's dangerous because there's pit vipers and there's I mean they're mining helium, so there's pockets of gas that can explode. So that's kind of the basic gist. Anything else to add about the Helldivers?
Yeah, real quick, so they call them hell divers because so they're in this mine and the way I envision it is you're obviously deep down or in these tunnels, and then there's like a crevice or a crack that they're mining down into. And so the hell diver is the guy, like Matt said, he's in the front, but he's actually riding and inside this claw drill. And they talk about it like a hand, right? And so he's kind of like right there, he can see everything, and he's got to be super fast. It's very dangerous. Like hell divers don't live to be very long.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're kind of the most daring, the strongest, smartest of the bunch. And so yeah, I think that's about it. I guess on that. Can you say the quote again, Matt? He's like, "I'm the
Yeah.
hell diver. I'm the strongest."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm the earner in this crew. I am the Helldiver. It takes a certain kind, and I am the strongest anyone can remember.
yeah, love that. Yeah. All right, next
So
one.
so
Yeah,
Darrow's
no.
Darrow's like just talking about his like confidence. We're kind of getting a taste of it, and but also his capabilities. He's clearly competent and highly capable. As a side note, I don't I didn't have a quote for this, but the note was Darrow is he is not intuitive with girls. It was probably something about EO like asking waiting for him or something, but like he was surprised by EO. So just that's a continuous theme is that Daryl will often be confused with girls. Like he's not good with girls.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't get that impression.
Well, I definitely did.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of what he might have said to EO or like what he would have because it's like okay, so he is EO. EO is like the love of his life, right? One of
Mhm.
my quotes here, this is later on, right? So it's maybe jumping a little bit, but that's okay. So one of the
Yeah, I
quotes that I
probably
have
okay.
is we grew together and now we're grown. In her eyes I see my heart, in her breath I hear my soul. She is my land, she is my kin, my love, right? So, like, I get the sense that EO is everything for him, right? And, like, everything he does is for her. It's like he was yeah, I mean, I do he's this, like, hard-headed, stubborn kind of, risk-taking guy, and he finds her, falls in love, and she, like, becomes everything, right? And so, um yeah, so after she dies, then I think he has this, like so later on in the story, right, he gets caught up with, he, meets other girls down the road, and I think that it's the fact that and at least in the beginning, definitely, right, he feels guilty, right, because she's died, she's been
Oh, for
gone, and,
sure.
like, as time passes,
Like
he
beyond
kinda
guilty, like haunted.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah, absolutely, man. You're absolutely right. And so like that's kind of what I get. Like it's like he's ignoring girls or their advances, right? I don't think he's unaware of it, but I think he's
He's
like
unaware,
choosing
bro.
to. You think so?
Yeah, because there was a quote where it came up a couple times where he's like, I had no idea EO liked me.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I once they're in the relationship, I'm not saying he's like a bad boyfriend or anything like that. It's just like he doesn't have that intuitive sense.
Got you.
And it's like a clear theme.
Okay.
I'd
All
argue,
right.
I'd argue it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. We can yeah, we'll have to explore that and see. Yeah. All right. What's your next one?
Okay.
So
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 now
okay, he's
now
he's a hell diver. He's a badass hell diver. What next?
now I'm going into more of the like EO quotes, and we're um talking about slavery and stuff. So this is the next one. EO says the laurel is the carrot society dangles, always just far enough beyond our grasp, just enough so we know how short we really are and how little we can do about it. We're supposed to be pioneers. EO calls us slaves. So I think this is a good way to think about the way they see the world differently, at least at the beginning, where EO, yeah, she doesn't see their situation as pioneers. She sees them as slaves. And even further, my next quote, it's when after Darrow had to do the risky move to continue drilling,
Mhm.
because Darrow's like, "Hey, I can taste victory. I know we can win the laurel this time. I'm gonna go for it. I will risk my life." He almost loses his leg, but he mines the helium necessary to beat the opposing clan Lambda. And then he's talking with the Helldiver of Lambda. Hey, what's your raw count? How much helium did you guys get? And Lambda says, and everyone on Lycos, Darrow's tribe or village, their clan, they know for a fact that their raw count is higher than Lambda.
Mhm.
And so when they're talking about the Lambda Helldivers' responses, because Darrow says, "Hey, I beat you," the Lambda Helldiver responds with, "Don't care. Raw count never matters, Lambda." So,
Oh,
for
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So big foreshadowing, for what's to come, because that's the idea of it, is that these people were motivated, um, to mine, but as we're gonna find out, they don't win the laurel. They don't win the laurel.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I guess a little context there, right? So there's in this world on Mars, right? In these mines, there's different, yeah, townships. And so Daryl's Lambda,
Darrow's
and
Lycos, Lycos.
sorry, there's Lycos, and then there's Lambda. It's like a neighboring one. And so pretty much it's hey, whoever gets extracts more helium-3 at the end of whatever, a year. Is it a yearly thing?
I think it's
I forget the
quarterly. I'm
frequency.
honestly
You might be right.
hazy. I think it's quarterly.
Okay. But yeah, so whoever does the this is what they've been told, right? Whoever extracts the most helium-3 will win the laurel, and the laurel is essentially, right, extra food,
Mhm.
Supplies, whatever you get more, right? Your town, not only you, not only the hell diver, right? But like your town gets more. And so yeah, man, how it's funny you mentioned earlier, like I about the difference between Darrow and EO, and Darrow is kind of just like he seems right. He's a hard ass. He's a smart ass. He's a hard headed, stubborn, right, and he's like a risk taker. But in within that, it seems like he's kind
Mhm.
of happy to
Mhm.
just accept the life that he has, right?
Yeah.
He's like happy to, all right, yeah, be this like being a badass hell diver in Lambda or in Lycos on Mars is enough for him, right? He's willing to just buy the story that's been given to him, right? But EO, she doesn't, right? She's like, no, there's more. Like there
Yeah.
has to be more than this. And so I wonder, do we ever find out, Matt, if what gives her that impression? I mean, obviously, we
I'm
moving
gonna
a little
get
bit
into it. I'm
forward.
gonna get I
Yeah.
could yeah, I'll get into
Okay.
it.
Okay, let's go. Get into it.
Um, so yes, the answer is yes. Um, but this is a bit more of a bit more setup. So this is the next quote that stood out to me. But we of the colony of Lycos, one of the first colonies under Mars's surface, are a people of dance and song and family. We spit on the legend of Mars and make our own birthright. It is the one resistance we can manage against the society that rules us, gives us a bit of spine. They don't care that we dance or sing so long as we obediently dig. So, yeah, it's like it's like an example of when people are oppressed, there's always ways to fight back.
Yeah. There's always ways to fight back, and, like, I feel like you always kind of turn inward, right? It's like you do what you can in the situation that you've been given. So if you're oppressed and you can't, there's no, like, success, there's no monetary success that you can kinda strive for. It's like you look inward and, yeah, dance, song, family,
Family.
right? Like, you look into and strengthen those things, which I'd argue, man, a lot of times they're like some of the most important, right?
Oh, I for sure agree. I really
Yeah.
like what you were saying about the Cuba example.
Yeah.
How they came to mind. Want to get into that?
Sure, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like this,
Because
them.
you traveled there, right?
Yeah, yeah. I went to Cuba in 2017, and I brought this up in like the last couple conversations because I remember reading through this, and yeah, he talks about like they're dancing all the time, they're singing all the time. And it just I thought about Cuba, right? Because it's like you have okay, communist country, these people are there and they don't really have anything of their own, right? There is no, here in America we can work hard, we can make money, we can become more successful, we can like raise our level, right? And so, but that's not possible over there in Cuba. And so, you go there and it's like, man, there's music coming all over the place, and like there's art, and there's this dance, and there's dance. People are dancing everywhere. They love to dance. And I've always said, so I love Cuban music, right? Like Cuban salsa, Cuban reggaeton. There is this, at least to me, I think there's this like this energy, the things that they talk about in their songs, right? That is just like full of life, and it's just different compared to yeah, other salsa, other music. Um, and like I just love that, right? Because it's like there's this very honest because it's all they have, right? They
Yeah,
have to, okay, can't make a ton of money. Hey, let me get really good at my art, right? Let me get really good at singing. Let us when we celebrate, when we do have things to celebrate, let's get together as families and like dance and sing and stuff. And so yeah, I just think that's so true and across like so many different cultures. When you have an oppressed culture, you find people that look for ways to kind of deal with the oppression, to get over the oppression and still like celebrate and live despite that oppression, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think it's,
Really good perspective.
yeah, thanks.
I need to go
Dude,
to Cuba. I need to get off the the continent.
you need come on, man.
I've been on the continent only.
Honestly, man, dude, like life is short, man, and it's life is short, and going and seeing how other people live and going and just like learning, like stepping foot somewhere new, right? Completely new, completely kind of foreign, just expands, your worldview. I think it's so important to do, man. And it's just
Yeah,
so nice too. Like it truthfully like gives you because I feel like sometimes we get stuck in the rut and in the routine,
exactly,
doing the
exactly.
same thing over and over again, right?
Yeah,
And
it's definitely one of the best things that you can do to expand your mindset. It's just all positive, pretty much.
yeah, yeah, I agree, man. It's so important. So important to do, and especially even Darrow, right? Like, you see Darrow, his world goes from
Oh yeah,
mines of Lycos, right? These mines of Mars to, like, further in, he realizes, like, "Oh, wow, all of this Eo was right. All of this has been a lie." There's, like, this big old city that he didn't know anything about, and, they're, uh, just, like, other what am I looking for? What's the not only a city that he didn't know about, but just, like
I mean
yeah.
it goes straight up from like colony,
Mhm,
like not even terraformed planet
mhm.
to like colony to Mars, then to like the solar system. Like
Yeah.
it, yeah, it is pretty grand. The escalation of the world building.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah, man, I
moving
agree.
on.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna start introducing the suns, the concept of the suns. Again, this is Darrow's early mindset on the suns. So he says the suns think we are mistreated, so they blow things up. It is a pointless tantrum. Any damage they do delays the progress of making Mars ready for the other colors. It hurts humanity. So that's talking about just again he has this false he doesn't know the entire situation. He doesn't know the reality of things. So just another example of kind of his ignorance before he learns the truth.
Yeah. But it's okay, the sons, I mean, you mentioned the sons, so he's talking about the sons of Aries,
Yeah.
right?
And this is
And
before he knows anything about him.
yeah, yeah.
He just
So
thinks
I
they're sorry, go on.
no, you're good, you're good. No, go ahead.
Yeah, the last thing was just yeah, this is before he knows anything about the Suns, and he thinks that what they're doing is delaying the progress of the terraforming.
Yeah. And so it's like, from that perspective, from that lens, I think he's 100% right. Right? But, like, he only knows everything that they are being spoon-fed,
Hmm.
right? So yeah, Sons of Aries is a real group, right? Uh they're like a group, we find out later that they're a group that's trying to essentially change everything and like dethrone the golds from being the ruling class and like oppressing everybody. So they're trying to de-establish the ruling class,
Yep.
destabilize
Yep.
the ruling class. Uh, and but he's right. Like I think with the information that he knows, he's like, all right, if we're just here in these mines, we can't go up to the surface yet. We're all on the same team kind of deal. We're all
Hmm.
trying to get enough helium-3 to terraform and get up to the surface. I think he's right. Like I think I would be pissed, right? It's like I wouldn't see a reason for, okay, you're mad that we're being oppressed by the golds or whatever the reasoning is for these attacks that are happening. It's like you're just delaying us. It's like we're all in the same boat kind of deal. Right, but
Yeah.
we find out later that that's very much not the case.
Very much not the case.
Yeah, yeah,
So later on in the story, the first turning point happens. So there's always like the rising action, and then there's like a turning point that occurs. And the turning point, as I said earlier, is they do not win the laurel. It goes to Lambda because it's a rigged system. It's all lies. It's all lies. And so, uh, Daryl gets mad, and this is again, this is the turning point. This is where all the rest of the plot comes out. But I really like this quote because it's right when he realizes that Lambda gets the laurel instead of Lycos,
Hmm.
and Daryl starts to get really mad.
Yeah.
And so he says, "But Io," talking about his rage and his anger. "But Io doesn't let me boil in it. She doesn't let my knuckles turn white as I clench my fists in fury. She knows the temper I have inside me better than even my own mother, and she knows how to drain the rage before it rises." So that's one thing I really like about their relationship is, and it's interesting because later on, Darrow says like, "Oh, Io's got to be even more mad than I am," but Io's doing all she can to keep Darrow calm. So I really like that quote.
Yeah. I like it a lot too, man. It's just like makes you think of, man, that it sounds nice, right? You know, when life seems unfair, you know, when shit happens and you can't deal with it, right? And like you're just pissed. You're like, no, this should have happened. Like, why not? This isn't right. This isn't fair. You know, and you're just like pissed, and especially Daryl, right? We see that happen often. You mentioned it before, and I reading the next couple books, you're right, right? There's a couple instances where they point out the detail of like Darrow's white knuckles, right? He's like balling his fist until his knuckles turn white, and he's just like there's this rage, there's this like anger in him, right? That she identifies right away, right? And she like goes to comfort him and be like, "Hey, we have each other, everything's okay," kind of deal. I love that.
Yeah, for sure, for
I
sure.
love that. What was the last bit? Can you read the last little bit again? So
Yeah,
it's like,
Io doesn't let me boil in it. She doesn't let my knuckles turn white as I clench my fists in fury. She knows the temper I have inside me better even than my own mother, and she knows how to drain the rage before it rises.
"Feign the rage before it rises," man. It's what do you think? What do you think about that? So you tell me
I
something
think
about it.
uh I think if you have a talented helldiver that gets really mad,
Yeah,
and then the solution to that is his wife.
yeah.
I think if she gets murdered, bad things are gonna happen.
Oh,
So,
sure.
so that's my
No,
thoughts.
yeah, yeah, 100%, right? No one's gonna be there to hey, chill out. Hey, no one's gonna be there to what do you say, quench the rage before it happens or
Yeah, she
whatever
knows
it
how to
was.
drain the rage
Drain the rage.
before it rises.
It's an interesting word, drain. Drain the rage.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like it. I like it.
I do too. I agree. I don't know if Pierce Brown was trying to imply anything with draining the rage, but you get what I'm saying? Do you get what
Yeah,
I'm
man. I'm
okay.
picking up what you're laying down.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I'm picking it up.
Yeah. Um, no, I think that's awesome. I think that's I don't know, man. That just sounds nice, right? Having someone that's gonna like that's not going to antagonize you and push your buttons. Someone that is going to understand and, like a relationship that you guys the whole slow to anger kind of deal. You guys calm each other and yeah, that sounds cool. There's one that I was just kind of flipping through.
Hmm.
It's super random, almost like a throwaway thing, but I really
Let's
liked,
hear it.
man, I should've just stayed on it. So it's Darrow, he's talking about his uncle Nerl, and he says, "Man," okay, we'll paraphrase. So it was like one line, and it was like back before I was like young enough to. So he's pissed at his uncle, and he's some along the lines of back before I was young enough to uh like to smell the swill and filth on his breath, something like that. And so it's just like essentially, it's so true, like how, man, oftentimes we're young, we don't really fully understand everything that's happening, don't really fully kind of comprehend. Yeah, yeah. Don't notice those kinds of things, right? Like, oh, my uncle's probably drunk at the time, right? We're hanging out, and yeah, and then you get older and you realize, like, oh, this is who he is this whole time, right? Uh, Man, I'll find it, and I'll bring us back to it. But anyways, what's the next one for you, Matt?
All
What
good.
else you got?
Yeah, so the solution, and this is I think one of the reasons is Io was planning to take Darrow to that tunnel, but maybe she wasn't like 100% decided to do that because it's a risky move. She probably was,
Yeah, yeah,
but losing the Laurel just sealed the deal because that for sure gave her the resolve to, yeah, like I need to calm Darrow down, so let's go take him to this beautiful place, um so that way he can have this awesome experience. Let him know. um can you I so I'm gonna give the quote of Darrow's reaction to him seeing the dome, but do you want to just explain a little bit of the context of like
yeah,
what's going on there?
yeah, for sure. So, okay, we were talking earlier about like how does EO know that there's more, and maybe this is one of the clues that like gives us insight into that. So EO, she works in like the spinnery or the webery.
Yeah.
They're essentially making, I guess a lot of the women. And by the way, they live in Lycos. Their lambdas Gamma ends up getting the laurel.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, no, no,
Good
no, you're
correction,
good.
good correction.
Yeah. So he's a lambda of Lycos. The
Okay.
Gammas are the other township over. But so she takes Daryl. Yeah. So she takes Daryl, right, to call, and I think you're right, to calm him down, right, to this special place that she's found. So it's like this tunnel through near this Webery where she works. And it's like I kind of almost picture like a ventilation shaft kind of
Yeah,
thing that
it
they
is a
go through.
ventilation shaft, it is.
Yeah. And so she takes him into this kind of like forest area, and where there's like wildlife and like trees and stuff, greenery that he's never seen before.
Never seen before, which is wild.
Yeah, really, man. Yeah, dude. I like think about it. I'm like, put yourself in Darrow's shoes, right? He has lived in a mine his entire life, like artificial light, 24/7. There's no sun, there's no nothing. But
Miserable.
yep, they
That
walk
that was
into
me
this
at Amazon.
clearing. I'm sure. Yeah, it's like you walk out and it's like pitch black. You're like, wait, it was daytime when I walked in.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, and then so there's a glass dome overhead, right? So he can like see the sky and see the stars. And so yeah, this is yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. So they go
mhm,
there, they knock boots, and but this is sorry, this is him right, um like him entering it and then what he sees for the first time. And he's talking about the bugs and the trees that he's seeing. He says, "The colors of the floating animals scald my eyes. I shiver and laugh and reach out and touch the creatures floating before me in the darkness. A child again. I cup them and look up at the room's clear ceiling. It is a transparent bubble that peers at the sky. Sky. Once it was just a word." So that hit me.
yeah,
That hit me. Just the simple sky. Once it was just a word. Uh,
hmm,
that's gotta. I can't imagine not seeing the sky. Um, yeah. So I thought that was a very well written quote as well.
yeah, yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, dude, it's like such a thing we take granted
Yeah, we
for,
take
right?
for granted. We take for
Take for
granted. I don't.
granted, yeah.
I honestly take this
That's the
guy for
phrase.
granted.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And like really truthfully, like such a beautiful thing. Like I'm looking out, there's a big window
Yeah.
right here, and it's like, yeah, okay, it's there. But, like, if you've lived underground your entire life and then you see it, like, this open, like, even that, right? The idea of, like, space, because 'Cause I'm
Hmm.
assuming these ceilings aren't tall, the tunnels that they're going through, it's not I'm kinda picturing everything, like, cramped together, and then you just see, like, all of this space above you, right? Or and around you. Pretty impactful, I'd say. Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
what a
So
play.
after they knock boots and they're laying in the grass, knocking boots, baby. Um, they get into an argument, and this is where you kind of see Eo's mindset, where why she thinks the way she does.
Sure.
And
Excuse me.
so they get into this argument, and again, it's Darrow coming from the side where Eo thinks they're slaves, and Darrow doesn't see it that way. He sees himself as an earner.
Mhm.
He's like, nah, like I don't beg for things, I earn. So I'm gonna go into it here. I'm sorry. It's just we are in chains, Darrow. We are not colonists. Sure, we are, but it's more on the spot to call us slaves. We beg for food, beg for laurels like dogs begging for scraps from the master's table. Then Darrow responds with, "You may be a slave," I snap, "but I am not. I do not beg. I earn. I am a hell diver. I was born to sacrifice, to make Mars ready for men. There's a nobility to obedience." So I think that's kind of where you see the different viewpoints.
Huge, man, and, I don't man, again, I don't necessarily blame Darrow, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's like, yeah, I don't know, I think, part of life, you wanna make something of yourself, you wanna contribute, you want to, you know, matter. Like, I think there's this, oh, man, Jordan Peterson talks about this, he's like, the meaning of life isn't I think it's Jordan Peterson, he's like, "The meaning of life isn't to be happy. The meaning of life is to, like, contribute or, like, to be dependable." Fuck, I'm messing that up. But that's the gist, right? It's like you actually will be much happier if you're chasing happiness, you're not gonna find happiness, right? Like, if you are looking to contribute, then you will find happiness through that kinda contribution kinda thing. Um Is the gist, and this I think this is, like, what Darrow is, like, responding at, right? He's like, "No," he's like, "I matter," right? Like, it's like, I and hey, granted, he's been told this his entire life, right? Born to sacrifice, to make Mars ready for man.
Mhm.
There's a nobility to obedience, right? Like, there's that idea again, yeah, man, of just, like hey, what I'm doing here matters. I think that's huge. Like, I think we all want what we do kind of in our lives to matter to a certain extent, right? And then
Yeah.
when EO is here saying like, no, like this is a lie, right? Like what you're doing here, yeah, maybe it matters, but it doesn't matter in the way that it's a lie. Even that, even your contribution is a lie.
Yeah, Eo straight up says that they're slaves.
Yeah. Yeah, wild. So she has to know. I wonder if we ever find out because I'm looking through this and so when they're looking up at the sky, right, she points out to how she's like, that's Andromeda,
Mhm.
right? They're looking at the
Mhm.
stars and so and no very few no people have ever really seen it, or well, at least none of the Lycos clan, right, have seen this. And so yeah, she's got more information than we know about. And do we ever find out, man? I'm trying to remember.
I don't think she knew. I think she just was like intuitive with it.
Yeah, but I mean, for her to know that there's the name of like the Andromeda
They do
Galaxy.
they do have the holocam, so
Hmm.
because they know about Earth and Luna and stuff.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Because the HC, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. This is you're
What
right.
they
They do
don't
it.
know is that Mars is terraformed, so they don't know the extent. They think it's just Earth, Luna, and Mars. Um, so that's what they know because the HC is in the middle of their village, and they show like the golds and stuff, like the Peerless Guard giving their speeches and all that. So
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Octavia's there, so they know Earth, they know Luna, and they know Mars, but they don't know Mars is terraformed and that the rest of the solar system is terraformed.
yeah, yeah. You're absolutely right. So yeah, she's got enough info to be able to like read something on the HC. Like okay, this is Andromeda, and look up, and like oh, that's it right there. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, one of the things I like too on the same page. Um, did you read what I sent you to Mi Familia? Course not. Of course not.
No
So
one is surprised.
I could see ignoring what mommy and poppy said. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. But what I said matters. No, so she says, so they're in the clearing, right? And so Io says, "You won the laurel. We all know," she says to me. And then his response is like, "You needn't coddle me. I'm not angry any longer. It doesn't matter." I say, "After seeing this, none of that matters." Just like
Yeah,
that idea, like, none of us want to be coddled, right? Like none of us want to be like pitied or uh, it's like, yeah, you don't need to comfort me, right? That
but
just that response.
I like that she does like does attempt like that's kind of what you were saying. That's a sign of like a good relationship.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think exactly. The attention intention is there, and yeah, the attempt absolutely matters. Um, yeah, you're right. You're
So
right.
the next thing that stood out to me is Darrow's response to the sunset because they end up staying there the whole night, and then the sun's coming up, and I don't think Io has watched the sunset either. But here's the quote from Darrow's perspective. So he asks Io, "You had another gift for me because the dome was the first gift, but Io had a second gift." She told Darrow he had two. So Io says, "Some other time. The sun rises. Watch it with me once at least. We lie in silence and watch light slip into the sky as though it were a tide made from fire. It is unlike anything I could have dreamed of. I can't stop the tears that well in the corner of my eyes as be- the world beyond turns to lights, and the greens and browns and yellows of the trees in the room are revealed. It is beauty. It is a dream." So, yeah,
No
just
words, June.
really good writing. I think it's a beautiful writing actually. So yeah, just yeah, I guess we can just leave it at that.
Yeah, man. I agree. It is beautiful. That scene. Um, one of the ones before. Um, so he says, or she says, "Death isn't empty like you say it is. Emptiness is life without freedom, Darrow. Emptiness is living chained by fear, fear of loss, of death. I say we break those chains." Right.
Yeah,
Um,
great quote. Great
yeah,
quote.
man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so true, right? As like I think it's like obviously she's talking about, literal freedom, uh, and or emptiness is living by chained by fear, right? And it's like, dude, so true. Like we do so many, that's one of the things that like haunts me particularly is just
Mm.
like, what am I afraid of? Like, am I living what kind of a life am I living, right? Um And like I don't want to live that empty life, right? I don't want to live one where like fear governs my actions or my choices. So yeah. It's
Yeah, my
like fear the unlived life, right?
my biggest fear growing up was getting older, actually. Like
Really?
straight up straight up I was afraid of it.
When was
Now
this? Like how when you were young? Like how young and when?
I don't know, maybe up to like 15ish, 18ish, I don't know, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Um yeah, that
How
was
come? Why do you
just
think?
cuz I don't know, I don't want to get like weak and frail. I want to be strong, mentally strong, physically strong, all that jazz.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nowadays, I'm fearless nowadays.
Right. The biggest lie ever. No one's fearless. We're not fearless. No one's fearless.
Your boy, your little bro is.
Oh, righty. Feel like someone who says that might have the most fear,
Oh, dude, no.
might be the most fearful.
Nah, definitely not.
No? And
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely not.
you still have to be afraid of some stuff. What's your biggest fear right now,
Nothing.
nowadays?
I am fearless. I have zero fear.
Okay, real talk. Okay, real talk.
Real
This is
talk, no.
you and me. I can edit this out. I'll
Oh
edit
my
this out of the
goodness.
machine. I'll edit this out of the episode. Real talk.
Straight up. You can go ahead, but I've buzzed my answer in.
Ay, Dios mío. Okay. Okay. If you say so. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah. Like I love that'd be awesome being without fear, without not having any fears. But real? Is that
Real,
real?
real. We buzzed in. Final answer.
Okay. All right. All right. What's the next quote? What else you got? So, okay. Recap.
Hmm.
She takes him into this place, right? They have a beautiful time there, watch the sunset. We get a big sense of like how much, right, she loves him. Hey, did she ever what was her response to he asks what her other gift was?
She said some other time.
Some other time. Got it. Got it. Yeah. So so they lose Darrow Lambda loses the Laurel Gamma, right? Has it. Gamma gets it. He's pissed. This is unfair. She takes him, opens his eyes a little bit. And now they watch the sunset, they fall asleep there, and then they leave. And what happens? So what's your next quote? And
Yeah,
that you have
it
net.
directly into this pretty much. So they get caught by the Greys because the again, Io, Darrow, and them Reds.
Mhm.
Reds are the bottom. That dome is only for the Greys. So as they're exiting the dome, they run into Greys, and um, the punishment for this is for the trespassing is a lashing, a whipping, whatever. So they get thrown in jail for 3 days. They're finally released and they're ready to get their lashing. But it just so happens that the arch governor happens to be in their town. He happens to be present for the lashing. It's a complete coincidence.
Yeah.
Complete
And
coincidence.
his name is Nero Augustus.
Yep, Nero.
Yeah.
So they're getting the lashing. Darrow goes first, and he takes it because again, for the Reds, he's cream of the crop. And then now it's Io's turn to get the lashing, and Darrow begins to beg to tell them to stop whipping his wife, and he begs for him to switch places. He's saying whatever. They end up having to put a rock in his mouth, but the quote here is Darrow saying, I beg because in my wife's eyes I see something that terrifies me. I see fight in her as they streak her back bloody. I see anger building inside her. There is a reason she is not afraid. So that's the quote, and then she goes to sing the forbidden song, and that leads to her immediately getting hung from Nero. My next quote is his reaction to Dio being the person to receive the last words. So if you want to say anything before,
Yeah, for sure. Man, so a couple things. You remember I was telling you about so there's the like dramatized audible version. It's like it's not just an audio book, but it's like a full cast, sound effects and stuff for each of these. So they actually sing this song. And it's pretty
mm,
good. It was pretty good, in it. So check that out, guys. Check it out. You, Matt, you should also check that out.
yeah, yeah,
If you haven't seen it, it's pretty cool. But no, yeah, I mean, I guess just 'cause this whole situation sucks, right? But like
yeah,
to know someone well enough, right? So to your quote, right? It's like he knows he look she's got a look on her face,
mm,
right? Something she's gonna do something, and so again, they are an oppressed people, right? The golds, they're they're being first of all, they're being lied to, and they're just being used as slave labor, right? So like the golds are doing everything in their power to keep them oppressed, to keep them in this kind of subservient mode. Um, and so this whole idea, the song that she sings, so they're whipping her, and I think as they're done or finishing, she starts singing this forbidden song, and it's like this forbidden song of the Reds, and so like the punishment of her singing that song is death. And it is crazy, right? That it's like, okay, in this place where you sing a freaking song, like, okay, talk about um freedom of speech.
it's another aspect of control, kind of like the Laurel, where they're saying just enough to like dangling the carrot just
Hmm.
enough so that way they're close,
Hmm.
but just far enough so that way they know they can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
It's another example where, yeah, you can sing, you can dance as long as you obediently dig, but big but there's one song that you can't, and there's one dance that you cannot do.
Hmm.
So it's just another tool to keep them oppressed.
Yeah. Yeah, but it really highlights like the power of words, right? Because it's like it's not just like, oh, you can't sing this song, right? It's like this song, this particular song, this particular dance, whatever. So that's how, by the way, we're talking about a dance. That's how Darrow's father was killed, right? Because he did a dance that was he
Hmm.
shouldn't have, right? And kind
Yep.
of it's like a protest, right? A
Yeah.
dance in protest, a song, a protest song. Um, but it's just wild to think that like, man, and it's like okay, what I was getting at was they're saying, hey, you can't do these things because they don't want to have to for at least in my mind, I look at it, it's like the Golds don't want the Reds to have any hope, right? Any hope of like raising their level, any hope of escaping, any hope of having the free will to do what they want. And so it's like you guys can, we're gonna dangle this carrot. You guys are gonna work for us. You guys can celebrate, right? And so that's another thing, right? We didn't talk about the laurel. There's like a big celebration
Hmm.
where the laurel is given to whatever township. And so even though Lambda, where Daryl lives, doesn't win the laurel, right? They're still celebrated and everyone's out and about. And so like, yeah, you can still celebrate, right? There's drink. We hear talk about like people getting drunk and stuff. You can still celebrate, you can still drink, you can sing and you can dance, but up to a certain extent. There's certain things that are just like there's a line here that this will give you guys too much hope or like it'll uplift you guys too much. And so Yeah, I wonder what the history is. I don't know if we ever hear the history of this song, and like why it was forbidden.
I think it talks about the old times before the Golds were in charge.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like something along those lines.
Hmm.
But I was gonna make a really good point, but it's
You
not
lost
present
it?
in I lost it.
Oh, man.
Man.
Dude, so here, I'll read the song. So this is the song that she sings. She says, my love, remember the cries when winter died for spring skies. They roared and roared, but we grabbed our seed and sowed a song against their greed. And down in the vale, hear the reapers swing, the reapers swing, the reapers swing. Down in the vale, hear the reapers swing, a tale of winter done. My my son, remember the chains when gold ruled with iron reins. We roared and twisted and screamed for ours a veil of better dreams. So, like literally talking about a revolt, right?
Yep. Yep.
Um, you know, uh, yeah. And so like every I'm just picturing by the way, this is very public. They got caught and they like called everyone into the town square, and they're being made an example of, like Matt said, right? Like
Mm.
Nero Augustus is there, the arch governor of the planet of Mars is there in this one little mine at this specific time, right? Like what are the chances? So Io, I think very knowingly does this. She makes a choice to do this. And here's his response, right? This is so Darrow says, as her voice finally swells and the song runs out of words, I know I have lost her. She becomes something more important. And she was right. I do not understand. Right. So he's thinking this in his head, and then the arch governor, the gold, right? He's all he says is a quaint tune, but is that all you have? The arch-governor asks her when she is through. He looks at her, but he speaks loudly to the crowd, to those who will watch in the other colonies. His entourage chuckles at Eo's weapon, a song. What is a song but notes unto the air? Useless as a match in a storm against his power. He shames us. Do any of you wish to join her in song? I implore you, bold reds of. I implore you, bold reds of. And then he looks to his
Oh
assistant who
yeah.
mouths the
Wow.
name Lycos. Like legit, this guy
Yeah.
doesn't even know where the hell he is,
Yeah. He doesn't even
right?
know.
Join her now if you wish. Um, and then everyone stays quiet. And so everyone stays quiet. There's a little bit more of that, like it says, you know, people look down. Uh, yeah, and then so the dude's response is, yes, the arch-governor says idly, I have an appointment with Arcos. Hang the rusty bitch. She continues to howl. Le- Hang the rusty bitch, lest she continue to howl. Right? Just like this, I don't give a fuck. You guys are
Yep.
ants,
Yep. Yeah.
kind of thing. Well, which is wild. Like there's lack of empathy, lack of
Lack
care,
of
lack of
empathy.
humanity from this gold that's gonna
Yeah.
drive Darrow to seek some revenge.
Yep. Sure will.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Next quote.
Yes. Um. This is. I just like this example. I really like your quote because it talks about how Darrow says that EO is right. He does not understand. So I really like that part of it. And this is a pretty similar. It's consistent and it shows his love for EO. So when she chooses, instead of choosing Darrow, her husband, she chooses her sister to give the last words to. So then Darrow says, I do not react as Dio climbs the scaffold stairs. I do not understand, but I will not be jealous. This is not about me. I love her, and her choice is made. I do not understand, but I will not let her die knowing anything but my love. So that really spoke out to me. It really stood out to me. I it's just sad. It's just sad
Yeah. But what about it spoke out to you? Because I agree. I like that a lot. What about specifically?
that Darrow, even though he says he doesn't understand, he knows that love is the top thing here.
Priority. Yeah.
Yeah, love is the top priority here.
Yeah.
Io's about to die. There now is not the time for any jealousy. Um, so instead, Darrow just is determined to in her last moments give her all the support he can muster.
Yeah. I think, dude, ooh. That's a good one, man. You struck a chord there a little bit. Um, because I think of Darrow, right? And I think Darrow of his response. So, okay, little backstory, right? Or I guess a little bit more context before we talk about it. So they're about to hang her. Okay, so she sung her song, Gold says, hang the bitch.
Yep.
And they're like
Hang the
taking her
rusty
up.
bitch, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, since they're reds, they're often rust is a big thing, right? Like they're in the mines, so it's like you think of like metal and rust colored stuff and whatnot. So she's pretty much up there at the gallows, right? And they allow her to say any last words, essentially. So she calls up Dio, her sister, uh, and Dio goes up and she tells her something. And so, like, man, um, we know how much Darrow loved Io. We know how much he loved his wife. And so we know how much she meant to him. And so in her final moments, right? And so one thing too that like I've got to think is it's like he has to feel sad because she chose to do this. Like
Mm,
we talked before. This is a decision. This isn't her just randomly singing a song. She knows full well what the punishment for her actions are. And so, she showed him this beautiful place. They were just going to get whipped. And then she chose to take it a step further,
mm,
right?
yeah,
Into there where there's no going back. And so, one thing, from Darrow's perspective is like, yo, I love you so much. You chose to leave me. You chose this over me, over being with me, right?
yeah,
You chose your dreams and this idea of freedom for our people over our life together. And so, okay, that's like one thing in and of itself. And then to take it a step further in her last moments, instead of her asking to speak with him or talking to him directly, right, she chooses her sister.
yeah.
And but like his response is the right one, man.
Mhm.
And it's his response that gets me the most because it's like a very selfless response. It's I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand why you choose this, why you chose this, but instead of beating my chest and calling attention to myself or like saying like why didn't you call me or whatever, there's an idea of just I'm just going to trust you and love you and this was your decision. This is what you wanted to do. You wanted to talk to Dio Dio and Io, you wanted to talk to Dio, your sister, instead of me. And so that's a very, very like hard thing to do, man. And I think
Yeah.
that's ah, how deep are we going here?
How deep do you wanna go as to with the deep?
So what does that make you think of, right? Like the selflessness, like this a selfless love. What does that make you think of?
I think that's just a good example of how it should be. I what I think is that his response confirms how much he loved Io. To be
Mhm.
to be able to be
Yeah.
that selfless in that situation, just tells me how much how important Io was to Darrow.
Yeah.
That's what I take away from that the most.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I agree. I agree. I think, yeah. Yeah. It's a really good one. Nah, it's a really good one.
And then the second to last quote I have for part one, um, live for more, break the chains. And then she gets hung and Darrow's got to pull her ankles, but live for
Those were
more,
EOS.
break the chains.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Such a we live in a weird time, right? Where it's
We
there
need
were
to
times
we are in tumultuous times, for sure.
mm,
Um,
like this is real, right? Like there's a
yeah,
calling, right? There's like she
yeah,
is our people are enslaved, right? Live for more. And so like there have been times in human history where it's like we got to go to battle. We have
yep.
to, there's something wrong here. Like we have to live for people are like literally called to live for more and to fight whatever, right? Break the chains and fight. And now, yeah, there's still that's still happening. But like I think it affects us very little in our day-to-day life, right? What does live for more mean? We're very comfortable. We're just
Oh, yeah,
chilling, you know?
yeah. We're
Um,
we're I mean, really, since the World Wars, it's been society has gotten complacent due to that, I would say.
yeah, I still think there are people that do, right? There are people that dedicate their entire lives now to like a cause, right? Ending poverty in whatever area, those kinds of things, right? It's not just war. Because war, I feel like is the easy, like that's the one you can kind of point to, and it's like, okay, when World War II, Hitler is oppressing everybody. This has to stop, right? Like, we can't allow the forces of evil to win, kind of thing. And yeah, I still think there are people that do dedicate their lives to something, but like, man, I feel like the majority of people, right, kind of just
They're going
grow up,
by. They're just
go to
doing.
school,
Yeah,
work their
exactly.
entire
It's a
lives,
cog in the machine. Cog in the
build a
machine.
family, and kind of just are happy to just do that, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't know, there's something very romantic and like very
I think the next idea of live for more, at
Mhm.
least when I think of living for more,
Yeah.
what I get excited about is colonizing Mars. I think
Mm,
that for me is like what I want to do, what I want my kids to do. Like I want humanity to focus on something positive and progress.
yeah.
So for me, living for more is the idea of colonizing Mars.
Got you, man. So you would go? Would you go?
Oh, 1,000,000,000%. Hey, I will be on the first ship so gladly.
Why?
To colonize, for progress, to live for more, to literally live for more,
Okay. Who are you living for more for?
for the human race.
Okay. All right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a valid reason for sure. You said you would want your kids to do it. So meaning, all right, okay. Are you
Yeah, like if
saying,
for whatever reason technology isn't advanced enough for in my lifetime for me to go, then maybe my kid or grandkid, but just the idea of living for more, when I think of that, I think about colonizing Mars.
dang, dude, you could literally be Darrow.
I
Go to
could.
fly to
I
Mars,
really could.
and then, we can't live on the
Darrow,
surface, and
David.
you've got to Yeah. Yeah. That's funny, man. Yeah, dude. I don't know if I would do that.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think I would. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't. Yeah, and not I don't know. It's like if I could help it, I wouldn't for sure. It's like that sounds like it'd be an adventure for sure. But I feel like there's enough here that we could adventure with,
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
rest of my life
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing.
There
Um,
are there. I don't think there's gonna be what's the I don't think there's gonna be bidets on Mars for some time.
bidets, motherfucker. Yeah, hey, there better no, there better be if I'm going, we're taking bidets. We're not doing this antiquated toilet
Fair
paper
enough. Fair
thing.
enough.
Absolutely not. It would all I actually think thinking it through, I feel like it would make more sense to use bidets, toilet paper, right? Because you could
Oh
like
yeah, we wouldn't have trees.
you could clean well, yeah, exactly. It's like you could recycle that water, you could
Recycle.
clean the
Yeah,
water,
yeah.
reuse it, right?
All right,
Versus
maybe maybe the bidet. All right, I'll take back on that one.
hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I'll take that one back.
Yeah. So is that
So the last quote I have for
yeah.
part one is because part one ends with Darrow going to retrieve Eo's body and bury her. On the way there, Uncle Neril joins him, and Darrow's like, "Hey, you gonna stop me?" Uncle Neryl's like, "Nah, but here's this flask." So Darrow says, "I drink from his flask and hand it back. The swill tastes stranger and thicker than usual. Strange. He makes me finish the flask." The only reason I included this was because I knew that there was some sort of drug hat thing happening with Darrow here. When I found out that he was alive, I'm like, okay, like this makes sense. This was at least
Yeah.
set up. That's
Yeah.
all I got for part one. I think we should cap it off there with closing thoughts.
For sure, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's good.
I'll go first on my closing thoughts. Rereading it, because I was it's been a while since I read part one of Red Rising. But rereading it, the world building was better than I remembered the first time I read it.
Yeah.
So the second time I was like, wow, okay, like because I remember you talking about how you really liked Red Rising and like the world building part of it.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't have that much of an impression. I knew it was good, but I was just more impressed on the second reread. I
Oh,
think,
okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, so you were impressed with the world building the
y- y-
second time you
yeah,
read
yeah,
it. Yeah.
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 Maybe just because I don't know, because I know how the series ends and all that, but because I did finish Golden Sun and then now I'm rereading this part
Mhm.
one of Red Rising.
Mhm.
So yeah, I on the second reread I was more impressed with the world building. Um,
Yeah.
I really like Eo and Darrow's dynamic where Eo sees through the lie, but Darrow's content to before he knows it's a lie, he's content with the status quo. Um, yeah, I think it just sets up the series really nicely.
Yeah, dude, I agree. I think anytime so I thought the same. With what reading it the second time around, you really notice the little details that you didn't the first time around, right? Little things that you kind of skate over the first
Mm-hmm.
time, you realize are important, right? Or it's like a foreshadowing or a clue as to what's going to happen. And so, yeah, I agree. I remember. So I listened to it the second time around on that. Like I was telling you that dramatized deal. Um, it's just like a lot of light bulb moments. Oh, I didn't catch that the first time.
Mm.
So
Yeah, same.
yeah, yeah. So one thing I guess, that's kind of just again giving more context. It's um so Eo dies. Darrow has to since they're on Mars, the gravity is like what? It's like a third of Earth's
A
gravity or
third, I
something.
think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right.
Yeah. And so you know on Earth, you get hung and it's like your neck kind of breaks and you die. Um, but like they have to go because of the lesser gravity. They've got it, family members or somebody has to go and pull the legs to kind of break the neck and like ease the suffering of the person being hung. And so Darrow himself, he goes and he does that. Um, so, mercifully, ends Eo's suffering. But then, yeah, so the tradition is that they just leave her hanging for a good while. But he comes in the night, takes her body away, and he goes and takes her to. This is still part one, right? Because part
Yep, yep,
one,
yep.
okay, yeah. He goes and he takes her to that kind of clearing, that little forest area that they shouldn't have gone to. So he goes and he buries her. And he knows but that by doing this that he's gonna be killed, right?
Yeah.
So like he chooses, to it's not like, he was so sad and so again, right, so just like torn over her death, that he made the decision to he's like, you know what, I'm going to whether it's, hey, I'm gonna give her the proper burial, proper death, proper burial, and he's gonna do it for her. He's still doing that with the knowledge that he's going to get put to death because of it. And so kind of like this, I don't know, I had this sense of Darrow just be like, fuck it. Like this life isn't worth living without Eo. This desperation and this, yeah, again, this decision to bury her body and eventually be put to death himself. Um, Spoiler alert. By the way, we probably should have mentioned that there were spoiler alerts, that there were spoilers at the beginning of the talk, but turns
We
out
can do it on the next one.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
fine.
I'll remember this, or I can add it in later. It's fine. I'm not worried. Um, but yeah, you know, turns out to not be, they hang him, but he ends up staying alive. And so this story continues. But yeah, it was just, man, star-crossed lovers kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Trying to think of any other thoughts. You have anything else, Matt, to add?
Um, I'm glad we got the podcast back on track. I'm very happy about that. Glad to be here. Hopefully you Red Rising fans are enjoying. That's all I got.
Yeah. Yeah, same. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Matt, yeah, I agree, man. This was awesome. I enjoyed this. We need we will absolutely keep doing it. Um,
We're
yeah.
gonna shoot for a 2-week production schedule,
Yes, yes.
a cadence
Yeah.
of two
Should be good.
weeks.
Yep. So, sweet guys. Man, bro, love you. It was awesome
Love you,
talking to you.
bro.
And we'll cut it there.
Peace.
Later, guys. Oh yeah, later, guys. Bye. Nice, dude.
Nice.
Oh, that was good. What do you think?
I think it was really good. I think our best
Yeah.
one yet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, once you've done it 5 times.
Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna keep getting better with everything.
Yeah, agreed.
I like that we're gonna do the cut at the beginning and cut at the end.
Yeah. The other ones are fine, dude. I don't understand
Dude, I've
the
made too
whole
many YouTube videos. I'm okay, so
it's
when it
it's not a
come
YouTube video.
uh, when it comes to videos and stuff, that is my realm. And so yeah, just like an artist would like critique some like little detail there, that's the level I'm at, bro.
Yeah.
That's the level I'm at.
Hmm. I got you.
But yeah, I
I
agree.
like
They were
yeah.
fine, but I stand by the comment
Your
that
statement. Yeah.
yeah,
All right. All right.
it's definitely an improvement.
All right. That sounds good. Yeah, we'll cut it. I will cut this too. Oi. Oh man. Oh, dude, this is fucking crazy. I'm tired.
Hmm. Well, Sunday rest up day.
Now I gotta work.
Oh,
I've
shit.
gotta I got a ton of stuff to do right now, and
Oh,
I've gotta
fuck.
yeah,
You
yeah,
got it,
yeah,
bro. You got it, bro.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Of course, dog. Always, man. Always, my man. How's the class going?
Good. I just need to get a 61 on the test.
Yeah, you were telling me.
Yeah. I mean, it's going great. Like, I'm gonna pass the exam. I signed up for the state and federal exam already,
Hmm.
and so I just gotta take that, pass that, and then once I
Are you
do, I'm already like texting Ken, the branch manager of Highland. We're on good terms, so yeah. I mean, it's so far so good.
yeah? That's good, dude.
Yeah.
Are you going to do Illinois too, or just Indiana?
Maybe in the future. I mean, I'm gonna get my builder license for Michigan, my realtor license for Michigan in like a year and a half. So I might as well just get Illinois too. So probably in the next 2 or 3 years, yeah.
Realtor license for Michigan. How come?
Yeah, because my builder license converts into that. It's kind of like a automatic add-on. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
it is.
So you're gonna okay, so you're gonna get Indiana realtor license and then Michigan and then
Like
maybe
likely Illinois.
yeah.
The
Dope.
nice thing is, dude, Macaulay is the top dog in the region and like the Midwest.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the best things is that they have this program because they're a part of some sort of like World Realtor Association. I don't know the official name for it, but I can legally get referrals with through them globally. So when you're in Florida and you know anybody who is looking to get an apartment or buy a house, what I can do is go into my World Association of Realtors, find someone in
Oh,
Florida,
uh-huh.
and then I can connect whoever your friend is with one of the realtors in Florida.
Hmm.
And then if they make the deal, I can get some money off of that. So it's super nice.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, yeah.
Huh.
Because since houses are a big ticket item, there's so many rules and regulations with it to prevent fraud.
Hmm.
But this is just one of the nice perks that I can because you can't do that. Not anybody can just randomly do that. The only reason I'm able to do that is because I'm a part of Macaulay's a part of this World Realtors Association.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Interesting. That's cool.
yeah. So definitely, I keep your eye out and let me know if you make friends or anything, and they're trying to do some real estate stuff. Cause at that point you can let me know, and then I can one get my referral fee, but then also, I mean, this is like a prestigious organization, so they'll be able to help out whoever your friend is professionally and like do a good job. Supposedly, theoretically, but
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah. Nice, man. That's
yeah,
dope.
yeah, it's really nice.
Sweet. So then when's the class end? And when are you gonna be able to take your exam?
It's like March, end of March,
Mm.
and then I signed up for like March. Basically end of March is when I signed up. I don't know off the top of my head.
For the state exam?
Hmm.
Gotcha. Yo, man. That's exciting.
All right, well, think I'm about ready to hop off.
Keep a straight face. All right. Sounds good. Yeah, man.
You
I was
crack me
trying to
up,
keep a
man.
straight face and just, like, freeze.
Yeah, I know. I was
Yeah.
like, but yeah,
Eh
glad we did it, man. Good shit.